Are you ready? Welcome to Conflict Nexus Report, where we bring latest updates about global world crises and latest news. Hang tight for what we have for you today. Right now, at this very moment, as you watch this video, Jared Kushner and Steve Witkoff are inside the Kremlin meeting directly with Vladimir Putin. No diplomats, no advisors, no time limits, just Trump's son-in-law, a billionaire real estate developer, and the Russian president deciding the fate of the Ukraine war. This is December 2nd, 2025, and what happens in the next few hours could end Europe's deadliest conflict since World War II, or make it worse. Here's everything you need to know about the most important diplomatic meeting happening on Earth right now. Russian state media has confirmed that the meeting is underway. Cameras captured brief greetings, Putin asking about their stroll in Moscow, Witkoff calling it magnificent, and then the doors shut for private negotiations. Inside the room with Putin are Kremlin aide Yuri Ushakov and Kirill Dmitriev, a sanctioned Russian financier close to both Putin and Kushner. Representing the U.S. are Witkoff and Jared Kushner, who holds no official government position and was never Senate confirmed. According to Kremlin officials, the talks will continue as long as it takes. This meeting follows a tense weekend of negotiations in Florida. Marco Rubio met Ukraine's delegation at Witkoff's Shell Bay Club. Trump said there's a good chance for peace, but Rubio warned the talks are delicate and complicated. Axios reports that the original 28-point U.S. peace plan has been cut to 19 after pushback from Ukraine and European partners, who said the earlier version leaned too heavily toward Russia. So what's actually on the table? First, territory. Putin insists Russia must control the entire Donbass. The U.S. wants Ukraine to surrender some land to get Putin to the table, an explosive political risk for Kyiv. Second, NATO. Putin demands Ukraine never join. Ukraine refuses to abandon the option. Third, security guarantees. How does Ukraine protect itself after any deal? Putin arrived late to the meeting, delivering a speech elsewhere while the Americans waited, classic Kremlin power signaling. And ahead of the talks, he claimed Russian forces had seized 2 Ukrainian cities. Kyiv immediately denied it, calling it propaganda meant to influence negotiations. Zelensky, speaking from Dublin, called this one of the most challenging yet optimistic moments for diplomacy. He says updates will come hour by hour, and that he's ready to meet Trump if today's talks show progress. But the Ukraine war isn't the only crisis unfolding. In Washington, Defense Secretary Pete Hegseth confirmed that U.S. strikes on alleged drug boats in the Caribbean have only just begun. This follows a deadly September incident where a second strike killed survivors in the water, more than 80 people. Senator Angus King said plainly, if that second strike happened, it's a stone-cold war crime. The White House insists Admiral Bradley acted within his authority. Trump says he doesn't know what happened and wouldn't have wanted that, adding to the confusion. At the same time, Trump is escalating pressure on Venezuela. He labeled Nicolas Maduro and his allies as members of a foreign terrorist organization, giving the U.S. expanded military options. Trump also demanded that all airspace around Venezuela be closed. Multiple airlines have already suspended flights. He hinted that operations may move from sea to land very soon. Meanwhile, Maduro accuses the U.S. of trying to seize Venezuela's enormous oil reserves, the largest proven reserves on Earth. Kushner and Witkoff are expected to brief Zelensky in Europe on Wednesday. The success or failure of this Kremlin meeting will determine whether peace talks move forward or collapse. European leaders are on edge. Many believe the U.S. is preparing a deal that could undermine European security. EU Foreign Policy Chief Kaja Kallas warned, Russia does not want peace. We must make Ukraine as strong as possible. The problem is simple. Putin and Zelensky want incompatible outcomes. Putin wants land and NATO off the table. Zelensky cannot accept either. On Venezuela, Congress is demanding answers. Bipartisan lawmakers want a full investigation into the Caribbean strike. And in a bizarre twist, Trump announced plans to pardon former Honduran President Juan Orlando Hernandez, convicted in the U.S. for major drug trafficking, while simultaneously launching deadly strikes on alleged traffickers at sea. December 2nd, 2025 may become a turning point, either for peace or for deeper global instability. Right now in Moscow, 2 men with no traditional diplomatic experience are negotiating with Vladimir Putin. The results may determine whether Europe's biggest war in decades ends or continues. Meanwhile, Washington faces accusations of war crimes and possible escalation into Venezuela. Trump promised to end wars through unconventional diplomacy. In the next 24 to 48 hours, we'll learn whether that gamble pays off or backfires. This situation is developing by the hour. Stay tuned. By the time you're watching this, new information may already be emerging. Make sure to subscribe for immediate updates. What do you think? Can Kushner and Witkoff strike a deal both Putin and Zelensky will accept? And are U.S. strikes in the Caribbean justified or a step too far? Let us know in the comments. Thanks for watching. Don't forget to like, comment, share, and turn on the subscribe button to be notified whenever we drop latest news.